She's the only player in the league that will say this shit. She's the only player in the league. Like, you won't hear Angel Wilson going out there. I am at the top of the scouting report. Ariel Atkins is at the top of the scouting report for your team. Camila Cardoso is at the top of the scouting report. Teams just box you out.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Yeah. We'll move on.
Angel Reese is a very good player, but she's ugly to watch. Have you watched her play? She's a typical WNBA. She's great on the offensive glass, rebounding, but watching her play, terrible layups. The reason people are captivated by Clark is the way she plays, like Steph Curry. And the thing that I don't like people making it race. I don't think it's in the league that's race. It's jealousy that she's so popular. But there's lots of major white female WNBA megastars that nobody cared about.
Angel Reese stood at the center of the court, not with a stat line that silenced doubters or a game winner that echoed through arenas, but with the kind of confidence that could only be described as delusional. Magnificent, sparkling, untouchable delusion. The kind of belief that declared not only was she the best player in the WNBA, but that every coach in the league was staying up late, gulping down cold coffee, and muttering her name like a late-night ghost story.
She isn't unfairly criticized is because I'm not gonna go into the bad guy, good guy. At the end of the day, Angel faces everywhere, right? And so when we talk about marketability and her inability to finish, her inability to do certain things, I think it goes to that. So I'm gonna keep it a band with you. I agree that if she gonna be the aggressor, then be the aggressor. At the same time, if you're gonna throw punches, you gotta take them. And so I felt like, to your point when you said, I bet she did. You can't see me because Caitlyn did it. Right. Absolutely right. But now when you come in the league, right, and you fall in, you know what I'm saying? You got your 13 and 13, but now it's not translating to winning.
In her version of reality, the scouting reports were war dossiers thick with diagrams and red ink. How do we stop Reese? They'd whisper, as if she were some storm battering the league coast to coast. In reality, most coaches were probably just penciling in, watch for techs, may cause unnecessary drama, box out if she gets heated.
Angel Reese was someone who ever held her tongue and was someone who had been a no comment machine in the past. Someone who wasn't so unapologetically Angel. If all those things existed, people wouldn't look at her recent no comment and just say, you've always had a comment before.
But that didn't matter. Not to Angel. To Angel, every glare, every quip, every brush up on the court was evidence of her superstardom. She didn't just play basketball, or she performed it. She didn't just draw attention. She demanded it like a Broadway diva storming the stage in Act 2 wearing sequins and a microphone. She understood the art of the entrance, the ritual of the pre-game walk-in, iced out and camera ready, eyes straight ahead like she was walking a runway built on hardwood. She played to the crowd, fed off booze like fuel, wore criticism like couture. Every stare down, every chirp, every tech, it wasn't a bug in the system, it was the system.
Please tell me it's a fake quote. Please tell me this is a fake quote. Because this is something where it's like, everyone says, and it's like, oh, Angel's a developing player. It's like, oh, she's only in year 2. Why is everyone like going at Angel Reese and all this stuff? And, you know, oh, people can't stop talking about Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, in a quieter, almost surgical corner of the league, Caitlin Clark laced up her sneakers like a surgeon snapping on gloves. No fanfare, no Instagram live, just logo threes, laser-guided assists, and the kind of court vision that rewrites game theory textbooks. Clark wasn't trying to go viral, she just did. With every cross-court bullet pass, with every step-back dagger from 30 feet, she was making basketball look like an art installation, a masterclass in geometry and instinct. And all the while, Angel was over in the corner shouting through a megaphone, "Hey, I'm a masterpiece too."
But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucked.
It wasn't that Angel Reese wasn't good. She was. At LSU, she was a force, a rebounding machine, a double-double artist, a queen of taunts and TikTok-friendly flexes. But the WNBA is a different beast. There's no room for flash without finish. And lately, Angel's box scores have read less like fireworks and more like footnotes. One solid outing here, a hot quarter there.
Angel Reese, part 47. Let's get it. Unethical rebounding. Bang! There's a league memo out that says nobody grab rebounds but Angel. 99% of the time, nobody even tries for them. But when they do, they always get the rebound over her because she's jumping with cement in her shoes. Bring back shame to stat padding rebounds. Where is it? No wonder she leads the league in rebounding. I mean, what is this? When it's not an uncontested defensive rebound, we're going for the me-bounds. How about it? Give me that.
But mostly, it's been a sea of missed layups and emotional scrambles. And yet, the confidence remains ironclad. It's almost childlike, the way she insists she's the one keeping scouts up at night. It's as if she's wearing a cape in the cereal aisle, daring anyone to question her powers. They're planning for me, she declares, with such certainty you'd think she was averaging 30 and 15 on national television every other night. But she's not, and she knows she's not, which is what makes it all so fascinating. Because Angel Reese has become something more than a basketball player. She's become a walking, talking, headline-generating machine. She doesn't need the best stats. She has the best sound bites. Every interview is a performance. Every quote a new flashpoint in the endless media cycle that fuels the WNBA's new golden era.
From 5 feet.
Completely criticize Angel Reese because Tyler Marsh condones this. Tyler Marsh reinforces this. Tyler Marsh is this point forward Angel Reese. This is Tyler Marsh's deal. This is Tyler Marsh's gig. In order to get Camila Cardoso the ball, he needed to fix some things up, switch some things around. And in this most recent preseason game, a game in which Angel Reese had 3 rebounds, I'll take that every day of the week.
She doesn't just exist in the game, she exists around it. She lives in press conferences and post-game quotes, in viral clips and carefully curated beefs. She's in the comments, she's in the memes, she's on the minds of people who haven't watched a single quarter of her play. And while she's spinning her story into gold thread, Clark is weaving history into the game itself. Clark doesn't just get defended, she gets schemed against. Coaches rewrite game plans, build entire defensive rotations around her gravitational pull. Her mere presence is enough to collapse zones and snap double teams like rubber bands. Angel, meanwhile, is more likely to trigger a timeout when emotions flare than when defenses collapse.
My gosh, is this for real? Is this really for real? But I'm going to show you this video because if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to absolutely fall out of your chair laughing. I know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this the curse of Dave Portnoy. Barstool Sports El Presidente. He went on a rant about that Ryan Clark stuff, and he said all he had to say about Angel Reese and Ryan Clark and that whole mess. And I will say this, his rant cursed Angel Reese because she proceeded to have the absolute worst game of her.
But give Angel credit when she understands the assignment. Not the basketball one, perhaps, but the cultural one. She knows that in a media ecosystem starved for characters, being loud is sometimes more effective than being legendary. She's not just playing games, she's playing the game. Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud, Angel Reese may not be the headline, but she is why the headline gets read. She's the fire starter, the spark plug, the pop of glitter that makes the highlight reel feel like a reality show. Without Angel, the league has stats. With Angel, it has stories. Still, there's a sadness tucked into the spectacle. A melancholy that hums beneath the bravado. You can feel it every time Angel insists that she's on equal footing with Caitlyn, like they're co-authors of this WNBA renaissance. But the billboards say otherwise. The sponsorships, the broadcast schedules, the jersey sales, they all point in one direction.
Chemistry question. What happens when iron barely gets scraped?
It goes bang!
In the name of the brick, the Barbie, and the holy me-bound,
Can we get a pray up?
how about it?
Bang!
Chuck and duck, aim for the bushes.
Bang!
WNBA fireworks, happy 4th of July.
Bang!
Make sure you lather up with sunscreen and butter this weekend. Butter.
Butter pecan! Bang!
Nobody, and I mean nobody, hip fires better from inside the paint through defenders, gets their own rebounds, and puts it back in. One last me-bound for the boys, and we all can go have a nice long weekend. How about it? Come on, 5, do it for us. Let us feel alive.
Caitlin Clark isn't sharing the spotlight. She is the spotlight. Everyone else is just trying to stay in frame, and that stings. You can see it in the interviews, the defiance, the edge, the quiet ache masked as confidence. Angel wants to be adored, but more than that, she wants to be essential, so she leans harder into the persona. She doubles down. She crafts the heel role so convincingly that fans can't look away.
I stay consistent as possible. Obviously, I struggled in the first couple of games, and just staying poised, trusting my work. I have great people in my corner. I never really question my ability of what I can do. Obviously, you go up and down through your career, and thinking in the beginning it's going to be my sophomore slump, but I got out of it in my first couple of games, and I'm here and helping the team win as much as I can. That's the most important thing to me.
Even when the scoreboard says they should, it's performance art dressed in compression sleeves. It's WWE with free throws.
It's time to put the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese conversation behind us. Caitlin Clark is unanimously our Rookie of the Year, and eventually she'll be the best player in the WNBA. And Angel Reese? Well, she's in the WNBA. Angel Reese is shooting 43.8% from inside 5 feet this year on 274 attempts. Now, let's think about some things that are more likely to happen than Angel Reese making a shot from inside 5 feet. Shaquille O'Neal making a free throw. Diana Taurasi hitting a 3. Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. We can argue this until we're blue in the face, but numbers don't.
And maybe, just maybe, that's her genius. Because while Caitlin Clark is chasing ghosts and legends, reshaping the record books, Angel Reese is doing something far more human. She's making us feel. She's giving us someone to argue about, to meme, to write hot takes over. She's giving us the drama, the friction, the fuel. She's not here to win everyone over. She's here to make sure no one forgets her name. And on that front, she's undefeated.
Right here, man, released. Talking about Chicago Sky coach sends strong Angel Reese message after loss to Indiana Fever, right? So let's read what it says here. Chicago's loss to the Fever forced them to 2-5 on the season. They were finally gaining traction, winning back-to-back games against the Dallas Wings before they faced off against the Fever. After the loss to Indiana, Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh responded to a question on Angel Reese's struggles, finishing the game against the Fever with 4 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Marsh mentioned that he doesn't believe Reese struggled to make an impact against the Fever despite shooting 28.6% from the field.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game.
In a league where greatness is often quiet, she's the noise. In a sport obsessed with efficiency, she's the ineffable. And that might be the most valuable thing of all.